LVMH is recently announced that they're the first European company to hit $500 billion in market cap. Now, as I shared this out and talked about this, a lot of people thought that Black people were responsible for LVMH's success, hitting this $500 billion mark. And so I got curious and I said, you know what? I'm going to go down the rabbit hole a little bit and do a little research as I like to do. And so I dove down and I did some research and I want to share it all with y'all. So good evening, everybody. Kamari Ellis here. Welcome to the Financial Rebel Show. You know, every Wednesday we do Wealthy Wednesdays where we talk about money or I answer your business, money, stocks, investment questions, right? This channel, again, if you're new, this channel is all about making wealth black again. And today I wanted to talk about LVMH. Again, I find it fascinating that one, they hit $500 billion in market value or $500 billion in market value. And two, I find it interesting that a lot of Black folks think that Black people are responsible for the success of LVMH. So I said, all right, well, let's check it out. Let's look into it. Let's go down into it. Now, if you're not familiar with LVMH, it's a powerhouse brand. Everything from Louis Vuitton or Louis Vuitton, not sure exactly of the pronunciation, right? Louis Vuitton, Moet Chandon, again, not sure how it's actually pronounced. It's a European, Italian, and French brand. Let's see, some others. Hennessy is a real proper one. Sephora, and there are a couple others that they have, and they're stable. I mean, they have a lot of powerhouse brands that bring and generate them millions and billions of dollars every year. So again, I thought it was interesting to say, I wonder really what is fueling this. So I wanted to take a deep dive. So I looked at it. And I wanted to share it all with you. But before we go too far, do me a favor. If you're interested in the subject and you know anybody else interested, share this out. Like the comment. You know, the algorithms are fighting against me. So like the comments, comment, and share so more people can find this as we go through this topic. Now, again, Louis Vuitton, Christian Dior, Moet Chandon, Bulgari. I'm got some notes here, just looking forward through it. I'm not exactly sure how to pronunciate all of the titles and names of these franchises and brands, but people like them. And technically, I'm not really a brand guy, so I'm a little out of my depth, but I understand business. And so that's the only thing I can lean on today. All right, but like I said, I talked about those brands. I'm sure many of you listening and watching this live or in the replay know about those brands as well. And you're probably familiar with LVMH, right? Again, which stands for Louis Vuitton Moet. What's the H? Moët Hennessy. Moët Hennessy, right? And so this company was a bunch of conglomerates, right? It was built on mergers and acquisitions. So started with Louis Vuitton, it seems like, and then they brought all these other brands and all these other companies that just keep building and building and building. And here we are now with people just buying their stuff and just loving their stuff, not just in Europe, but across the globe. And as I dug into a lot of these numbers, it wasn't just in the United States that's generating a lot of profits, but many other places across the globe. So I wanted to go through some of the numbers down as we dig into these. So give me 1 second. I will pull that up on the screen. These are the 2022 LVMH statements, just so y'all know I'm not making this up, right? And I don't want to go through the whole thing and put y'all to sleep because, you know, it's numbers. A lot of people don't like numbers. They don't want to look at the accounting. They don't want to look at that fun stuff. So this is LVMH's financials, right? Period ending 2022. Now, when you look at this, just going to the title, to the, and just going through the table of contents, excuse me, right? You see they have a lot of their core business laid out here, right? Wine and spirits, fashion and leather goods, perfumes and cosmetics, watches, jewelry, and then selective retail, right? So they are in a little bit of everything. Let me bring this back up for everybody, right? So they are literally in a little bit of everything. I'm just trying to get the right format here. So as we go through this, I've already gone through this to save y'all the trouble. I didn't just want to read this. So some of their financial highlights. So in 2020, they did $44.6 billion in revenue. Excuse me, 6 trillion. Let me back up. 44 million. It says 44 million, but it's $4.4 billion in overall revenue. And so that's a lot of money. That's in 2020. In 2021, they did 64.2. It says million, it's denominated in millions. Let me blow this up so you can all see it. It's denominated in millions, but these numbers are actually billions. So it's $6.4 billion. And then 2022, it's 79 euros or $7.9 billion. So these folks are making a lot of money, a lot of money. And then, again, when they break it down, they've done roughly, I'm sorry, I messed this up. They did $79 billion with a B, 79 billion with a B in 2022. They said, so they did roughly 7.1 billion in wine and spirits, 38.6 billion in fashion and leather goods, 7.7 billion in perfumes and cosmetics. I didn't know that many people were buying perfume. Watches and jewelry is 10.5 billion in watches, and then selective retailing. So that's just a myriad of other things that they do. Came in at $14.8 billion. And so when you look at that, those are some impressive numbers. Now, going through this, right, when you're looking at a company and evaluating a company, you want to know where they make their money from. So in this next level, revenue by geographic region of delivery. So where are they making their money at? 16% is in Europe, ex France, 8% from France, Asia, 30%, Japan, 7%. So remember, it's Asia ex Japan. So that means excluding Japan. And then other markets, 12%. US is 27%. So the two top regions for LVMH are Asia, 30%, and the United States for 27%.